course.
We're very sad and we're very emotional. But this is not about us. From the beginning, this has only been about Chacho. So we just try to focus and let him go. And we know we can come back and visit and check on him.
Hopefully, other people who see monkeys in the same condition, living in the same condition,
Or any other animal.
or any other animals, will realize that they can do what we just did.
Yeah.
You need help. We got lots of help from a lot of people, and we appreciate that. But you can do it. You can make a difference.
And be kind. The whole message in the world right now is be kind to everyone and everything, and that you can be the voice for the voiceless. And that's where we all need to do better. And so we hope that we can share this message in that way. And if we can do it, people can do it. They can do it. My name is Lissa Anderson, and this is my husband, Larry Anderson, and we live in Napa, California, in the United States. I used to be a veterinary technician, and now Larry was a firefighter, and he's now retired.
Yeah, so when I retired as a firefighter paramedic, we sold our house, got rid of our belongings, bought a sailboat, and we spent a couple of years sailing down the west coast from Los Angeles to Panama. And during one of our stops just south of Puerto Vallarta, we sailed into a lagoon behind the little town of Barra de Navidad. And that was where we were at when Lissa went ashore to buy vegetables, because we were supposed to leave the next day, and heard what she thought was a child crying.
It was very loud crying. And so I searched and found this monkey in this cage. And he was very much alone. There was no one around. He was desperate, and he was reaching through the cage to me. And I just knew it was not a good condition. So I found my way through the back. It turned out to be a hotel, up to the front desk, and tried, in my worst Spanish, tell me about this monkey, and they just waved me off. And so I was very upset, went back to the boat, explained it to Larry, and the only thing we knew to do at this time in 2010 was write a letter, and we mailed it to the International Humane Society in Mexico City. And then we left on our boat, and that was it. Now, 9 years later, in June of this year, I had a dream one night about Chacho. And I woke up in the morning and I Googled monkey in Barra de Navidad on my phone, and Chacho came up. And other people had written about him over the years, and what a sad situation it was. So I started to reach out to other friends that we knew would sail in that area, and finally connected with someone and asked, could you please go to the back of this hotel and take pictures or video and show me that that monkey is still there. And I received it back, and he was. And so we decided we had to do something about this. We could not stay in our house in California and not try to help. So we slowly started to reach out to any animal rescue organization we could find locally in that area, which was very difficult. They're very overwhelmed just with dogs and cats. And but they knew about the monkey. From there, we contacted a woman we met who has a sanctuary in Costa Rica, and she is an expert with monkeys. And she said she would be willing to help us, and she would meet us in Barra de Navidad and see what we could do. We finally connected with a local organization there who was willing to try to find the owner of this monkey, who turns out to be the owner of this hotel, of course. And they started the communication about possibly letting us rescue Chacho and find a good home for him, a better home. So November 6th was the first time of this year in 2019 that we flew to Barra de Navidad, and Carol came up from Costa Rica and met us, and we began to make friends with Chacho and try to build some trust. We started him immediately on a more nutritious diet. We were told that he had only been receiving 5 bananas a day. There was feces on the ground. His water was all moldy and black. He had no way to hang and brachiate and swing. And as Larry said, no place to sleep on up above, just the fallen down rebar, the tiny bars he would perch up there.
There was a post in the middle, and at 6 feet, I think it was a decagon, 6 feet to the outside, concrete posts, chain link fence, double, because the inner chain link fence had rusted away from the top down. So all of the barbs, meat hooks I call them, were sticking into the cage from this rusting. So they had done a patchwork of wire, bob wire, around the top 2 feet of the cage, so he couldn't get out. The roof of the cage is concrete, but it's dissolving, and the rebar, which is supposed to be inside the concrete, is exposed, and it's rotting in the salt air.
It's falling down.
And it's falling down.
He had survived one hurricane in 2015, I think, Hurricane Patricio, and I couldn't imagine what it was like for him to be in there.
And there's
alone.
no way to get him out, because you have to knock him down to remove him.
It's terrible.
There was no other cage. There's no plan B. There's no nothing. And I'm sure you guys live in an area the same. I'm sure you have plans for storms and other emergencies that are made arrangements for a wildlife veterinarian to come in and help us do a physical assessment of him, get a health certificate, and help us with the paperwork through Profepa and Semarnet. And we were able to remove him from the cage and let the veterinarian examine him. While he was doing that, we had about 20 minutes, so we ran into the cave and put some PVC piping up in the ceiling so he could swing, and made him a wooden plank bed up high off the ground.
And
got
a
him
hammock.
some dishes up off the floor so he could eat where he's not defecating, and
Disinfected and
scrubbed
scrubbed.
everything down, and then put him back in all in 20 minutes. And let's see, from there we had to wait and keep him in quarantine for 30 days, and we were notified within 2 or 3 days that the paperwork's going to be ready, and when the paperwork is ready, you have to move him that day. So last minute we made reservations to come back.
We returned December 3rd.
And there was no way to get him 1,000 miles to here without, if we flew cargo, he would have been anesthetized. We'd had to put him in a wooden crate, and we couldn't go with him. So he would be alone, waking up from anesthesia, not good. So we chartered a private plane.
You really assured us that Chacho would be in good hands, and we can't thank the Akumal Monkey Sanctuary enough for that.
And we can tell he's just going to be really happy and thrive here, and receive good medical attention, proper nutrition, and have an environment with monkeys of his species to interact with.
An enriching environment.
So we're just so thankful for that.